Diogo Jota is thought to have been driving when he and his brother Andre Silva died in a car crash last week, Spanish police have said. The Liverpool footballer and father of three was killed alongside his brother, also a footballer, after the 180,000 acid green Lamborghini they were traveling in burst into flames following a suspected tire blowout last Thursday night in Zamora, Spain. Tests being carried out by the Guardia Civil of Zamora Traffic Division showed Jota was driving the car at the time. It was gathered that the car was thought to be traveling above the speed limit on the road, which was reported to be in the region of 120 km/h, 74 mph. The report has not yet been finalized, but will be handed over to the court in the town of Puebla de Sanabria, Zamora. Jota and Silva were found dead after the car crashed on the A52 in Palacios de Sanabria near the city of Zamora at 12:40 a.m. on Thursday. Welcome to your daily source for all things football. If you're passionate about the beautiful game and never want to miss a beat, transfers, match results, player updates, and behind-the-scenes stories, then you're in the right place. Subscribe now and join a growing community of true football fans who stay ahead of the game every single day. From Premier League action to Champions League drama and everything in between, we bring you the latest and hottest football news, fast, fresh, and reliable. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and never be out of the loop again. Football lives here. Newcastle is set to make its first big splash of the transfer window. The Magpies have agreed a fee of $55 million with Nottingham Forest for Anthony Elanga. A deal for the 23-year-old Sweden winger could be finalized by week's end. Elanga appeared in all 38 Premier League games for Forest last season, scoring 6 times and adding 11 assists. A native of Malmö, Elanga is a product of the Manchester United Academy. He made his senior debut for the club on May 11, 2021. Elanga made 39 appearances for United across 3 seasons before moving to the City ground in a $15 million move in the summer of 2023. In 74 league appearances for Forest over 2 seasons, Elanga has 11 goals and 20 assists. Internationally, Elanga has been capped 22 times by Sweden, scoring 4 goals. Because of a sell-on clause in his move to Forest, United will be entitled to 20% of Elanga's transfer fee. Chelsea should find it rather easy to avoid a further UEFA ban and further financial punishment, having already been fined $31 million, 26.7 million. A statement released last week stated that the Blues had failed to comply with the governing body's football earnings and squad cost rules. Chelsea will now be monitored for the coming years and face being banned from the Champions League next season if they are unable to provide a positive transfer balance by the end of the summer. A second fine totaling 60 million euros, 51.2, would also arrive if financial problems continue with their first punishment dished out because their squad cost ratio, the proportion of their income paid out in wages, was above 80%. In basic terms, Chelsea desperately need to sell players this summer, especially with close to $150 million spent to welcome João Pedro, Jamie Gittins, Liam Delap, Mamadou Sarr, and Dario Isugo. The Sporting CP star's now former teammate Giovanni Quenda will also arrive next summer for around $44 million. Matheus Cunha will wear the number 10 shirt as a Manchester United player. The Brazilian completed his transfer from Wolverhampton Wanderers in June and was among the group reporting to Carrington for the start of pre-season training on Monday. Cunha has been enjoying a well-deserved summer break, having helped Wolves to avoid relegation during the second half of the 2024-25 season. He also represented Brazil during last month's World Cup qualifiers, as the Selecao confirmed their place at the 2026 World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Cunha was the number 10 at Wolves last season, when he scored 15 goals in 33 games after succeeding Daniel Podence. He previously wore 12 for the Black Country Club and donned number 9 and number 19 while at Atletico Madrid. Matheus was number 10 for Hertha Berlin during the 2020-21 season, but had a variety of different shirt numbers at his other clubs Sion and RB Leipzig. The number is a famous one in his native Brazil, having been synonymous with several of the country's biggest stars. Liverpool players have started to report back for pre-season at the club's training ground, following the death of teammate Diogo Jota. Mohamed Salah, Andy Robertson, Joe Gomez, and Connor Bradley were among the players to arrive on Tuesday for the start of pre-season. Some of the Liverpool squad had been scheduled to return for pre-season training on Friday, but the club delayed their return after Jota was killed in a car crash alongside his brother Andre Silva last Thursday. Their funeral in their hometown of Gondomar near Porto was attended by many of Jota's Liverpool teammates and staff. Liverpool's first pre-season friendly is scheduled for Sunday against Preston at Deepdale, but the Premier League champions have yet to announce whether the game will go ahead. Bryan Mbeumo is growing increasingly frustrated as Manchester United weigh up a third bid for the Brentford forward. Mbeumo has made clear he wants to move to Old Trafford, but United are yet agree a deal with Brentford, who want more than the £62.5 million they paid for Matthias Cunha earlier this summer. United have made 2 failed offers for the 25-year-old, and both Mbeumo and Brentford have become frustrated with the slow progress of the deal. Brentford holding firm over their asking price, and are open to other offers for Mbeumo as United deliberate a third bid. Brentford are looking for a fee in excess of £63 million and have been encouraged by the fees touted for Noni Madueke and Anthony Elanga in recent weeks, believing their valuation is not only fair, but perhaps even lower than market value. Mbeumo, who scored 20 Premier League goals last season, is a United fan and has also been encouraged by the wage package on offer were he to move to Old Trafford. Nottingham Forest are interested in a deal for winger Johan Bakayoko and have made an approach to PSV Eindhoven about his availability. Forest are also considering a move for Lyon winger Malik Fofana as they look for replacements for Anthony Elanga, who was first choice on Forest's right flank last season, but is now bound for Newcastle. Bakayoko has been tracked by a number of Premier League clubs for some time, including the likes of Newcastle, Tottenham, and Brentford. But Forest have a long-held interest in the player, whom they first began to track during the January transfer window. Both Monaco and Borussia Dortmund are also interested in Bakayoko, whose agent is German. Forest expect Dortmund to offer the stiffest competition for his signature. Bakayoko managed 9 goals and an assist in 30 Eredivisie matches last season. Atletico Madrid have already moved for 2 players this summer and expect a third major signing to come through the door. On the exit front, things have been quieter, but increasingly, there are whispers emerging from the Metropolitano over who is available and for what. Angel Correa is set to leave the club for Mexico this summer, and Rodrigo de Paul is the next closest candidate to join him in the Americas. They would follow free agents Cesar Azpilicueta, Reinildo Mandava, and Axel Witsel out the door, with Rodrigo Riquelme moving to Real Betis. Juan Musso, Matteo Ruggeri, and Alex Baena have come in for a combined 62 million, leaving their net spend at 54 million. Luis Diaz reportedly wants a compensation package included in any deal to join Barcelona, in case the La Liga champions run into registration issues. Diaz is keen to protect himself in the event of a transfer from Liverpool to Barcelona being agreed by asking for a compensation package from the La Liga champions. La Blaugrana's finances are tight, and they have run into problems trying to register new signings in the recent past, leaving the Colombia international to ask for monetary compensation if he relocates to Catalonia, but cannot be registered by the end of August. Barcelona aren't the only side said to be tracking Diaz. Bundesliga winners Bayern are also monitoring developments, but they have yet to reach an agreement on personal terms with Diaz, having also been left disappointed by Barcelona target Nico Williams' decision to sign a new contract with Athletic Club. There are plenty of obstacles blocking Diaz from making the move to Barcelona, but it is thought the winger wants to play for the club before he retires. However, he still has another 2 years left to run on his Liverpool contract, and the Reds have shown little inclination to selling him so far this summer. Kylian Mbappe, Antonio Rudiger, and Dani Ceballos have been fined following their actions after the Champions League clash with Atletico Madrid. UEFA has issued financial penalties and suspended one-match bans to Mbappe, $30,000, Rudiger, $40,000, and Ceballos, $20,000, for their actions following Madrid's round of 16 Champions League win over Atletico. The punishments stem from celebrations and gestures made by the trio after Madrid's dramatic penalty shootout victory. The incident unfolded after Rudiger's winning penalty, which sealed Los Blancos' spot in the quarter-finals. Madrid players ran toward their fans to celebrate, prompting objects to be thrown from Atletico supporters. Los Rojiblancos accused the players of provoking the crowd, while Madrid defended their stars, claiming they were reacting to hostility and missiles from the stands. Interestingly, Vinicius Jr., who also made gestures referencing Madrid's 15 Champions League titles and Atletico's 0, was not punished. UEFA ruled his actions weren't severe enough to warrant a ban. Rudiger, Mbappe, and Ceballos received suspended one-match UEFA bans, which will only be enforced if they commit a similar offense again. Additionally, UEFA fined Los Blancos $15,000 and issued a warning over a fan's Nazi salute. If such behavior is repeated, the club could face a ban on selling away tickets in UEFA competitions. Lamine Yamal has been tipped to become better than Lionel Messi and break the Argentinian's Ballon d'Or record of 8 wins by 1998 World Cup winner Emmanuel Petit. The former Barcelona midfielder tipped the Spanish wonder kid to thrive in the number 10 shirt at the Camp Nou. After Ansu Fati's departure to Monaco, all but confirmed Yamal would become the next player to follow in Messi's footsteps. Former Barcelona midfielder Emmanuel Petit has heaped praise on winger Lamine Yamal, backing him to become better than Lionel Messi and win the Ballon d'Or many times. Petit made the move to the Camp Nou in the summer of 2000 after a hugely successful 3 years at Arsenal, where he won the Premier League and FA Cup.